I wish you a better and safe day to you all, and again a very warm welcome for this channel. Today we are going to discuss about another short topic in biology, which is very important point of view uh, for various type of body functions. That is about the metabolism process today. Metabolism. In this video, we will discuss about different stages of metabolism, different metabolic pathway, and what are the basic designs of metabolic pathway. Okay, so let's discuss. What is metabolism? Metabolism deals with the sum of all reactions. It deals with the sum of all reactions which continuously going on in the body for the purpose of survival. When we think about homeostasis, self-regulating, self-balancing system, metabolism is essential with all its pathways, all the three pathways of metabolism: anabolism, catabolism, and amphibolic pathway. Okay. So, the chemical reactions which are totally occurring inside the body are under metabolism. Then, during the process of carrying out metabolism in our body, what happens? The first event, there is a catabolic effect. What happens in catabolism? Catabolism is energy yielding process. Then the next process, that is about the anabolic process. Anabolism. What happens in anabolism? In anabolism process, new molecules are synthesized from precursors. New molecules from precursors, these are synthesized. Okay. Then there is amphibolic pathway. Amphibolic means, amphi means both. Here it deals with yielding energy as well as synthesis of new molecules. So it is a, except all this pathway, there is another mechanism. What happens in that? In that mechanism, it is required to eliminate waste materials, eliminate wastes. This is the it happens at the end of metabolism. Suppose the unnecessary compounds through excretion they are removed out. When it never happens, what happens? It can put an impact on metabolic pathways. The pathway may slows down, or sometimes the body become toxic. The chemical reactions cannot occur. So it is also another linked process with these three pathways. Okay. So let's come to discuss about all this pathway in detail. Okay. So let's discuss about the three different pathway of metabolism. What are three pathways? Detail. First, catabolic pathway. What happens in this pathway? It is the process during which energy containing intermediates, suppose we will take the example of carbohydrate, then suppose lipids, then protein, all these are energy containing intermediate, energy containing intermediates. These energy containing intermediates are oxidized during this pathway. What happens during oxidation? It produces carbon dioxide. These are oxidized. It produces ATP and byproducts which are needed to be eliminated: carbon dioxide, water, and other waste material, other waste like ammonia, nitrogenous products. These are needed to be eliminated. So catabolism deals with energy yielding. Hele. Next we'll go to anabolic pathway. What happens in anabolism? Anabolism. In anabolism, what happens during this process? During this process, the precursors. What are the precursors? Amino acid, glucose, fatty acids. These are basic precursor. In basic design, we will discuss about the common precursor, but here the precursors such as amino acids, glucose, then fatty acids. Okay, these precursors combined with each other to produce new compounds. What are these complex components? These complex components are: the amino acid produces protein, the glucose produces glycogen, then fatty acid with glycerol, it produces fat or lipid. Well, these are the anabolic pathway. Then what do mean by amphibolic pathway? Amphibolic, let's discuss amphibolic or amphibolism. What happens here? In amphibolism, it is both catabolic and anabolic in nature. Amphibolic pathway. Suppose we will take the example of tricarboxylic acid cycle, TCA cycle. Here catabolism takes place. The acetyl coenzyme is converted into oxaloacetate. During the process, as we need in the amphibolic deals with both catabolic and anabolic. Okay. Here we will take the example of TCA cycle here. TCA cycle, Krebs cycle. What happens here? The acetyl coenzyme which enter into mitochondria produces oxaloacetate, and at that time, as we have studied, 30 ATP are produced. It is a catabolic pathway because ATP are released here. CO2 also released as byproduct. But how it is anabolic? Let's discuss. Some of the products during the pathway of TCA cycle, suppose we will take the example of alpha ketoglutarate. Alpha ketoglutarate, this alpha ketoglutarate give rise to amino acids and purine bases. So it is one of the anabolic process. Then if we take the example of oxaloacetate, oxaloacetate help in synthesis of glucose. It enter into the process of gluconeogenesis. Another example, oxaloacetate produces glucose, enter into glucogenic pathway. Okay. So the amphibolic process deals with both catabolism and anabolism. Okay. So dear students, now we will go to the basic design of metabolism. Okay. Zero Z. What are the basic design? What are the basic steps, basic phases in the metabolism process or mechanism? We can tell it mechanism of metabolism. So, basic design. Let's discuss. Suppose we are taking the example of human body. We are taking foodstuffs into our body. The foodstuff cannot generate ATP immediately after its entry. What happens? It have to follow a basic design. It have to follow some of the basic mechanisms. What are they? These are the metabolic pathway designs. Okay. Suppose you are taking carbohydrate, lipid or protein in our diet. In stage 1, the basic design consists of 3 stages. Stage 1. What happened in stage 1? In stage 1, the macromolecules are converted into simpler forms. Here, the macromolecule converted into simple forms. Okay. How it is going on in our body? If we take the example of digestion and absorption, is the suitable step for this stage 1, where the macromolecule converted, the polysaccharides converted into monosaccharides, the oligosaccharides converted into monosaccharides, proteins converted into amino acids, fatty acids converted into fat and glycerol. So, these are the basic steps of stage 1. So, the stage 1 we can call it digestion and absorption. It takes place here, absorption at stage 1. Then come to stage 2. Stage 2. What happens in stage 2? It is one of the intermediate metabolism process called as intermediary metabolism. Intermediary metabolism, stage 2. What happens here? It is common for all type of compounds. How? I will take the example here. It is a common for all metabolic pathway. All metabolism or all type of compounds enter metabolism or all type of compounds. What? How it is compatible? Suppose we are taking the example of glucose. The glucose produces acetyl coenzyme. Glucose ultimately when it is converted into pyruvate into glycolysis, what happens? Pyruvate converted into lactate, both pyruvate and lactate converted into acetate. The acetate enter into mitochondria by forming acetyl coenzyme. That means here acetyl coenzyme it is one of the intermediary compound. When fatty acid, we will take the example of fat. Through beta oxidation, it also produces acetyl coenzyme, which enter into Krebs cycle. What happens? We take the example of amino acid. The amino acid also The amino acid also produces acetyl coenzyme A by splitting of its carbon chain. So, the intermediary compound in stage 2 enter into mitochondria for the process of further metabolism. Clear? It is stage 2. Then what is stage 3? Stage 3. Stage 3. This stage 3 is a common oxidation occur through Krebs cycle. How? How it is going on? During Krebs cycle or TCA cycle, some of the reducing equivalents are produced. High energetic compounds. The reducing equivalents are NADH, FADH2, NADH, FADH, or directly GTP, ATP. These energetic compounds are produced. These compounds enter into electron transport system, okay, and oxidative phosphorylation for producing ATP. So, the basic design of metabolism deals with all these events, okay. So, it is about the catabolic stages here, okay. Now, we will discuss ultimately the stages of catabolism, stages of anabolism. Like the basic design, the catabolism and anabolism also consist of 3 basic stages: stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Let us discuss what are happening in it. Equivalent to basic design, we will compare the catabolism process with anabolism. Amphibolism is a dual process. During catabolism, some new products are, new molecules are synthesized, okay. So, here catabolism and anabolism. We will discuss about the stages: stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. We will discuss about the 3 stages. First, we will go to catabolism here. What happens? During catabolism, what happens? At stage 1 of catabolism, hydrolysis takes place. What happens? Hydrolysis. Suppose we can take the example of polysaccharide converted into monosaccharide, amino acid converted into proteins, proteins converted into amino acid, fat converted into fatty acids. So, hydrolysis occur. What takes place in stage 2? In stage 2 of catabolism, these monomers again degrade to hydrolysis, it produces monomers. Here the monomers converted into acetyl coenzyme A, intermediary product. Stage 2. What happens in stage 3? Oxidation of acetyl coenzyme. Here the stage 3 consists of oxidation of acetyl coenzyme A to generate ATP. Okay, these are the 3 stages of catabolism. Let us discuss about anabolism. What happens? In stage 1 of anabolism, what happened? First, the simpler products of catabolism converted into acetyl coenzyme A. What happened? The simpler products of catabolism converted into acetyl coenzyme. It is a reversal process. Okay. Then what happened in stage 2? Acetyl coenzyme is used. Acetyl coenzyme used in synthesis of monomer. Okay, reversal, completely reversal. Synthesis of monomers, amino acid, sugar, fatty acid, these are synthesized at stage 2. What happens in stage 3? These amino acid, in stage 3, these monomers again combine. Monomers combined by different biochemical linkage to produce carbohydrates, lipid, protein. So, here combined to produce macromolecules. Okay. So, synthesis takes place, degradation takes place. So, when nutrient is required for our body, we will find anabolism is there. When energy is required for our body, the body enter into catabolic process. That means there must be a balance between these two processes. Without balance, we cannot carry out the body functions. Okay, thank you all.